One of the biggest challenges of the coming years is that of rendering computers usable and information accessible to everybody. The possibility of carrying on a dialogue with the computer in Italian or English instead of an artificial language may change the prospects for the users. It is only through a sophisticated integration of the various components that a flexible system may be built that allows a non-specialist user to carry on a dialogue with the computer. Our work is aimed at building a system for dialogue in which natural language is the basic communication channel, but the computer is seen as an active agent that allows a multimedia type of interaction. In this way, the means of communication are amplified, with the possibility of referring to images and other texts. In other words, our work seeks to integrate goal-oriented behavior, typical of natural language, with the explorative behavior typical of direct manipulation. Now let's look at Al Fresco, a prototype that we have developed at IRST. The system allows one to conduct a dialogue in Italian and to see images and information on 14th century Italian art. The computer is connected to a video disc player. On the right of the video screen, we see sentences in Italian, and on the left, images of the frescoes requested by the user appear. To understand natural language, it is necessary to integrate many components, including morphology, syntax, semantics, pragmatics, and of course, non-linguistic knowledge of the world. The ambiguity of any single component is limited by interaction, allowing the sentence to be understood. After processing the data, the system gives an answer. The image appears on the left of the video screen. Some partial results of the understanding process are shown on the computer screen. It is possible to refer to the figures in the paintings through the touch screen. We've just seen the user pointing on the screen. Even pointing may be ambiguous. One may refer to a person, or to an entire scene, or to a detail of a person. It is only through the combination of language and gesture that we are able to understand a reference. Now we see a reference through the pronoun la that refers to the answer previously given by the system. The system interprets the sentences in the context of the dialogue as it develops. Evidently, autore, that is, author, is the author of the work referred to in the previous enlargement. In this sentence, vedere la luce, that is, to see the light, is interpreted as meaning birth. One of the characteristics of the sentence analyzer is its ability to analyze complex idiomatic sentences typical in natural languages such as Italian.
This is an elliptical expression, that is, not a complete sentence in Italian. Expressions of this type are used frequently in dialogue. The expression is understood on the basis of the preceding sentence.
The system has rightly shown Siena. The order was, "Show it to me," where it referred to Siena. In the next sentence, we see how the system generates a reply in natural language. That is, the system produces Italian expressions appropriate for that particular situation, for that particular user. The system provides a description of the fresco based on rhetorical strategies for the presentation of the content and on a module producing a correct Italian expression. Buttons are inserted in the text in appropriate points. These, if selected with the mouse, allow access to hypertexts of art criticism, as seen in some previous sentence, or to the images of the paintings. The integration of various communications modules is typical of our work at IRST. In this connection, we are also working with the IRST group that deals with speech recognition. The prototype that we have seen is of potential interest in cultural tourism and is an example of the possible applications of natural language processing.